Here with details, Matthew Detrick with Apollo Chamber Players and world-renowned electric violinist Tracy Silverman, who will be joining the quartet on stage for this very special occasion. Guys, it's great to see you both. The other members are waiting in the wings. Don't worry, they'll be performing soon. But guys, congrats on the new album. And this album is such a big deal that it actually took the #1 spot on Amazon. That's huge.
Yeah.
It did. It was the lead up to that was really special and incredible. We were all texting each other and saying, hey, we're at the number 10 spot, and then the next 2 days later at the number 2, and we're like, we're never gonna supplant Yo-Yo Ma for the #1 disc. And sure enough, the release day we were #1.
And it happened. Well, and Matt, it's so great to see you and the gang, because you guys have been on the show so many times back in our mall days, and
right.
On this new album, I know, Tracy, you're one of a number of special guests.
Yeah.
So tell us about the collaboration, because I mean, playing with a new group of people, did it just fit right in, or does it require a lot of rehearsing?
Well, we've played together before. A few years ago, we worked together in San Antonio, actually, and it just fell together so easily that the Apollo folks decided to include me in this album and this commission, which they do a lot of commissioning, which is really a big deal for a string quartet to bring new music into the world.
Well, and I can tell by the photos that we're seeing that you guys had a lot of fun creating it. Tracy, the BBC called you the greatest living exponent of the electric violin. And by exponent, I mean, they're essentially saying, like, you're the greatest electric violinist in the world.
I had to look it up, but yes,
Okay.
it's a good thing.
So talk to us about the electric violin. I mean, how does this different from our traditional acoustic violin?
Well, here it is, and it's 6 strings, so it's got 2 extra lower strings than your father's violin.
Okay, and then you plug it into an amp, just like an electric guitar.
And it's electric, so yeah, you need to plug it in, and then you can affect it, you can distort it, you can put a wah-wah pedal, which you're going to hear, yeah, it's got a lot of possibilities. It's an updated version of the electric violin.
That is super cool. It's also very beautiful as well. Matt, let's talk about the group, because I know that during the pandemic, for so many performers, specifically musicians, when you're sitting at home playing, it's a little different than playing in front of a live audience. When you guys were at Miller Outdoor Theater, people lost their minds. You had a huge crowd come out to finally see you and reconnect in person. How does that feel to be back on stage?
It feels wonderful, Derek, and it is challenging, especially for performing arts musicians. What we do is we perform for people, but we had to kind of reimagine what we did during the pandemic, and in fact, we performed for we reached over 500,000 people with our virtual programming. We had collaborations with Houston Ballet members and entities like Healthcare for the Homeless Houston and the Harris County Public Library System. So I think we help connect communities and cultures through our special globally inspired music.
That is super cool. And do you feel like this whole process of just evolving the way that you guys create music and collaborate together, that you've emerged on the back end stronger musicians?
Definitely. Yeah. And we have a commonality with Tracy in that we are interested in music that reflects the times in which we live.
Yeah.
So this commission with Malice Toward None, I think, connects with the anniversary of 9/11 after 20 years, in the fact that it illuminates our shared history and maybe can heal some of the deep divisions within our society.
Yeah, and it was written by a man named Kimo Williams, who is a veteran of the Vietnam War, and so it has a lot of resonance that I think will really come across tomorrow night.
Well, we are so looking forward to hearing a preview on today's show. Let's put up the event details, and why don't you guys tell us where you're performing? This is in Midtown, right, at Match?
Midtown Arts and Theater Center, Houston, Match. Tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. We have a repeat concert at UH Clear Lake Wednesday. And yeah.
And to any viewers who have not gone out to see the Apollo Chamber Players in person, you will be so glad you did. Tickets start at just $35. So if you'd like more info on where you can grab those tickets, head on over to the Scene on Houston Life section of our website. All right, stay right there, because electric violinist Tracy Silverman will join the Apollo Chamber Players for a special live performance. That's when Houston Life returns right after this. Welcome back. Before the break, we heard from the Apollo Chamber Players about their concert, which is happening tomorrow night at Match, the Midtown Arts and Theater Center, in honor of the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks.
Now performing the title track from their album with Malice Toward None, and accompanied by acclaimed electric violinist Tracy Silverman, the Apollo Chamber Players.
3, 4.